you to the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. It says, does your church have or use a catechism? Now, some of you may be thinking, a cat of what? Well, a catechism is actually a theological teaching tool that is comprised of a series of questions and answers for the purpose of teaching biblical theology, primarily with raising up young believers and or our own children in the faith. The simple answer to this question is no. The hard question would be, why? Well, allow me to do a little background. What we know as a catechism was developed in the early days of what we know as the Protestant Reformation, as those that were leaving the Roman Catholic Church teaching biblical theology rather than just the tradition of man. A catechism was a way of establishing critical questions with critical answers about biblical truth and not just the tradition of men throughout the ages. For example, the first question in almost every catechism is, what is the purpose of man? The answer is to glorify God. Great. Now, there are longer catechisms, there are shorter catechisms, there's Presbyterian catechisms, there's non-Presbyterian catechisms. At the end of the day, what a catechism is a very rote, memorized succession of questions and answers that in most cases really articulate the faith in a well-expressed way. And talking about who Jesus is, the means of salvation, the purposes of the ordinances, etc. So again, nothing wrong with the catechism. It is a wonderful teaching tool. However, allow me to look just a little bit of an asterisk. The purpose of the original catechism was to come out of tradition of man into the truth of Scripture. Understand, in the early days of the Reformation, most homes did not have scriptures in them. Most churches had one, what we call pulpit Bible, that literally in some cases was chained to the pulpit because people wanted scripture so desperately in those days. And so a catechism served as a way of teaching biblical truth when there was not a Bible readily available. Now that you and I have multiple copies and access to scripture within our homes and our office, wherever, honestly, I think a catechism can be a good tool, but I don't think it is a necessary tool, seen in the fact that we are now so far removed from this original Reformation process. That being said, I don't have anything against it, but again, it's something that we locally here do not practice in a public format. Great question. If you have one, send it to askjeff.net. Maybe your question will be tomorrow's. Thanks for being a part of today's daily question. Now, we answer a question each and every day. Please feel free to submit a new question at askjeff.net. We may not have gotten to yours today, but we eventually will continue to be a part of this. Subscribe so you don't miss out on a question every day.